What's going on out there, world? Back at you with the ABCs of money. We back at you with the ABCs of money that they never taught in schools. Now, if you missed A, B, and C, go ahead and scroll on my timeline, and you'll see them there, and you can catch up and feel like you're not left out. But today we focusing on D. We focusing on D. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So the letter D, and we're going to talk about debt. D is debt. Got to get rid of your debt. You got to get other people hands up out of your pocket. Got to get rid of debt. And debt takes 1/3 of your income. And for those of you who do not know, taxes cause debt. But we're going to dive into that later on. But taxes cause debt, and taxes takes another 1/3 of your income. And if taxes cause debt, that means another 1/3 of your income is gone like that. And we call debt the family curse, simply because it could be passed down for generations to come. If you don't get rid of your debt, your kids' kids can take on your debt. That's why we call it the family curse. Your kids' kids can take on your debt if you don't go ahead and get rid of it. I want you to think about this statement I'm about to make for a second. How much more money would you have if your debt was zero? I want you to think about that for a second. How much more money would you have if your debt was zero and didn't owe anybody anything and had anybody in your pocket? I really want you to think about that for a second. Because the new free is debt free, not having anybody in your pocket at all. And what I did was able to partner with a company that was able to help me become debt free in February of 2022, which was 7 months ago. I partnered with a company that helped me become debt free in February earlier this year. And what I found out is that when I went over my paperwork and whatnot and my situation, I found out that my creditors had me in planning being in debt for 27 plus extra years. It had me paying so much money, thousands of dollars in interest. But with the game plan I was put on by these amazing experts with the company that I partnered with called Making Wealth Real Financial, they was able to help me get out of debt in 2.5 years instead of 27 years. So they came up with a game plan to get me out of debt. And you can too. We gotta get other people hands up out of our pocket. It feels good to be debt free and not having to duck Peter and Paul at the same time. It's a wonderful feeling because it frees up more cash flow when you become debt free. And now you have more money to invest and do other things with it. So it's a wonderful feeling. So if you're looking to come up with a game plan to become debt free, comment up under this video and I'll make sure I get back with you personally to help you on your journey to do so. Now, we're going to pivot as well, because what I also learned, and this is the second part of D, so we got another word that begins with D, and that I learned on this journey is that you got to have discipline as well. You got to have discipline. When it comes to getting your finances in order, you got to have discipline. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. When you get, man, I'm telling you, it takes discipline. to go ahead and get this done and follow the game plan or whatnot. May have to cut back on some things, but it's worth it in the long run. You may have to cut back on some things, but it's for a good cause in the long run. So you gotta have discipline as well when you getting your finances in order, and when you getting rid of your debt, destroying your debt. You gotta have discipline for that as well, because the money you have or the cash flow that you have to get rid of debt, the debt that you have, you can't go out and spend money on shoes or unnecessary stuff. You got to apply that to the debt and get that down as quickly as possible. And that takes discipline. Knowing you got an extra $500 or whatever the case may be to get rid of debt, but you rather go spend it on some shoes or some gear or some designer. I'm not judging anybody or whatnot, but I'm just using this as an example. When you could be taking that extra cash flow and applying it to your debt and getting that down so you can become debt free. And once you're doing that, becoming debt free, you're also freeing up cash flow at the same time. It takes discipline. You might have to cut back and say, hey, for this year I ain't going out or anything like that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna focus on getting this debt down. You gotta have discipline to do that. Hey, I ain't partying, I ain't doing any extra activities, but it's for a good cause. It's gonna pay off in the long run. So you gotta have discipline when you're destroying your debt and getting your finances in order. So D was kind of like a two-part for you guys. Debt and discipline. Gotta destroy your debt, and it takes discipline to do so. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So man, I'll be back next week with E, with the ABCs of money. I hope you guys got something from this, and I hope you guys have a blessed night and be safe if you're attending any outings or whatnot, and enjoy your Labor Day weekend, man. Have fun and stay blessed and stay safe, and you know what I'm saying, radiate around positivity. So y'all have a blessed night, man. Be safe.